Dad Mod's Media Machine presents the Brews with the Dudes podcast.
So I don't know, like this is a totally different format because we're like not sitting next to each other and talking to the camera. So it's like we're talking to each other. So it feels much more like JRE.
Yeah, it feels a little weird because I'm just staring at you on my phone.
Yeah, I feel like we're just like
so goofy,
just having a chat session. That it's not a podcast, but whatever. Anyway,
that's all right.
Cool.
Make the best out of it.
So we're back. We're doing this again. Thank goodness.
Yeah, thankfully. So we know it's been a while.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're not hanging out like we used to.
Yeah.
It's while we're in our own homes. Long story short, we had a couple of really close encounters with COVID.
With the third kind.
Yeah.
COVID kind.
And, just some scares and all that kind of stuff. And with what Jake does for a living and my kids' daycare situation, anything like that, we just got to kind of play it safe and have to social distance, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly right. I know it's so tricky because at your work, you guys have had just like case after case after case.
1 in 10 right now.
Yeah, that's so crazy. And yeah, the word on the street is like that's actually like statewide figures. It's like 1 in 10 people are carrying it right now. So that's not good. Not good at all. I mean, it's nothing like I heard that South Dakota is kind of like on target to reach 100%, meaning every single resident of that state is going to have COVID.
Oh man.
How insane is that?
What a disaster.
And they're our neighbor, so that could be part of the reason, but whatever. So I mean, here we are having to adjust, and unfortunately that means that we are no longer working together. We're now working in parallel on, thankfully, like we both have projects. So
yeah, I just don't have time to get to mine.
BMW. Yeah. Well, and it's been the same for me too, is like, I haven't hardly gotten to touch the Ford.
Yeah. I've explained to the wife already. I'm like, even though we're not physically doing garage nights together, like Thursday and Sunday still need to be my garage time.
Yeah. It's funny. We've got that same thing worked out.
That's still the schedule. Like I need to be out in the garage doing stuff.
Yeah.
And like I said, unfortunately, I haven't been working on my own projects. It's been everybody else's projects.
Yeah. Yeah. That RAV4 sounds like a real pain in the ass.
It's all right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Well, I mean, there's been so much that's been going on anyways in the interim here. Like besides the Rona, the reason why I haven't been making any progress on anything is, as you know, the Subaru is now gone, and now I own a 4Runner.
I'm not fixing that for you. I'm done.
Well, that's the beauty of it, is like it's a Toyota, so it's like, knock on wood. Go figure, like I'd buy a Toyota and then it'd break on me. But yeah, hopefully that thing's not gonna be busted, because it's pretty much like the nicest 4Runner in the Midwest for its age. I swear. It's beautiful.
The 30 seconds I looked at it when I went to pick up the cell phone mount from you real quick, it looks clean.
Yeah, it's
super clean.
It's like the guy was so meticulous. He had waxed it the weekend before I'd picked it up.
Jesus.
Like detailed it, like hand detailed the whole thing, which is like why I was like, oh my God, I saw pictures. I talked to the dude about it. Got the sense like, oh, this guy's anal retentive. Like he's meticulous about his cars. He's just
like you.
And I was like, this is my guy. Perfect. And then when I went and saw it, like he sent me a few more pictures. I was like, oh yeah, I've got to grab some cash and haul ass up there. Drove almost 6 hours one way to go and get it. I got there and I was like, oh yeah, this is perfect. Climbed underneath it. They all have rust on their frames. I mean, I'm pretty sure even Texas ones still have a teeny bit of rust because it's the nature of Toyotas. But it's like at the seams, just like little teeny strips. Like it isn't like the whole thing. So while I was looking at 4Runners up here, you're looking at entire frames where it's like the whole thing is scaled,
Yeah, it's either scaled or has holes in it, or
Yeah, some of them legit have holes.
Nasty.
Like,
Yeah.
they say when you're looking for these things that you should take a screwdriver with and just jab at
Start
spots on the frame, because no joke, you might stab through. They're
God,
so
that's
bad.
nuts. That's so nuts.
So this is a 4th generation Forerunner, but the 3rd generation Forerunners have like rust on their frames way worse. Like 4th isn't good, but the 3rd generation is terrible. So bad that like they have a I think it's considered a 4-link rear end setup in them from the factory. And those lowermost links, those lowermost trailing arms, they have like this big bracket that attaches to the frame, right? And then the link comes out of that, and that goes over here to the wheel and tire, right? So link, big mount that attaches the frame. This whole cup assembly, this whole like clevis will rip off. They'll just separate from the frame. So bad. So guys they make these like repair kits, which is like this whole, it goes over it basically, or it can replace it, and you weld it to the whole frame and around it and all that kind of stuff to try and replace it. It's like a cap. It's considered a cap. It's pretty bad. So I was excited to see this one was so meticulously kept.
If you ever get to that point, I'm not helping you with that project. That's all you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let it get like that. No, she's gonna get that frame is gonna get coated and oiled and all that stuff that they use.
So when we get the shoebox done, finally, is that the next frame we're gonna work on?
Oh, what are we gonna put an S10 front end on it? No,
we'll just do a frame up restoration on it.
Oh, perfect! Like it needs it. No,
let's probably safe than sorry.
It's I mean, it's gonna get a handful of things here. I'm kind of stoked to. I'm gonna build that spare tire carrier that I had talked about.
That looks sweet.
Yeah,
that'd
it should be pretty cool.
Too.
It'll be a fun project. Should be something I can knock out in a day.
You were saying your spare tire was seized in place, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's literally seized underneath. Like, it's just like the older Chevy trucks too, where it's got like a
little cable that comes down and
except like I would put the bracket in there because I ended up with that flat, and I'm twisting on the thing and it's not moving. Whatever, like the square bit or whatever you'd call it, from all of like it's like all the jack pieces, and it slides in there, and I'm like torquing on this thing, and it's like the bracket's probably 2 feet in both directions, so you're getting a little bit of leverage on it, and it's still not budging. So I'm just going to cut it out. Honestly, I'm just going to cut the mount that holds on the tire, pull that whole thing down, unbolt whatever I can, clean up whatever's above it, because I'm sure there's going to be some crud above it.
Yeah, probably.
And then mount it all to the spare tire carrier setup and just be done with it. I mean, it won't add any extra weight really to the back anyways, so it's easier.
You get functionality and appearance, which is nice.
Yeah, it does look cool when the tire's hanging off the back. Yep. But yeah, I'm stoked.
I'm gonna crack open a cold one, I think.
Are you, Mal?
Yep. Since I'm sitting at home in my PJs.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So take a wild guess what this is.
Vodka? Or water?
If I could drink vodka and just sip it like this, no problem, and not have like any affect change in my face, I think I'd be like pretty Russian. But no, this is White Claw.
White Claw. I like how you poured in the 7 West glass to make it look nicer than it is.
Exactly. This is my touch of masculinity added to it. I didn't have time to pick up beer, so I just said screw it.
I picked up a variety pack of Beaver Island's Sweet Miss oatmeal stouts.
Nice. Are they pretty good?
This one's coffee and vanilla, and it's incredible. They're all really good.
Vanilla. That's cool. Does it have caffeine in it?
I don't know. It doesn't say. I bet you it probably has a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna read it. I'm just gonna drink it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, after the last couple of weeks we've been having, it's just like enough of the chit chat. Let's get to drinking. Yeah, you can pretty much just be a podcast of us just drinking. Like we're not saying any words. We're just drinking.
Every time we miss working out in the garage together, we do a shot. We just get drunk in like 20 minutes.
Pour one out for your homies, kind of thing. Well, I mean, hopefully things get under control here in Minnesota, and we're able
Hopefully.
to, I don't know, hang out here soon, because it's driving me
This,
nuts.
this is a little weird.
It is weird. Yeah, don't love it. Definitely don't love it. So what's obviously, like, we're having to do a pre-recorded now.
Yeah.
Which is going to be different. So any of you guys that are watching, we're dropping the live thing because clearly we can't do that. We could try and stream it through this whole system. And I mean, maybe on special occasions we could try and do that, but still it's that's a lot of screwing around. It's taking it through Zoom, and then it's the Zoom is outputting into the OBS, and then the OBS is streaming it, and the computer I'm using right now can do it all. So we can potentially do that at some point. But
we had so many issues doing it the old way. This just sounds way more complicated with more problems.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, this is easy enough anyway. So and the beauty of it is, and if anybody who's watching is interested, and of course we'll be sending out some invites, but we can do guests now. And if I can stop bumping this computer, we can do guests, which is going to be awesome, because now we can have multiple people from multiple locations, so long as their reception is good and all that stuff.
Yeah, so it'll make it easier if you have somebody from, like you said, the cities or wherever. And
exactly. So even like later on, when life returns back to somewhat normal, like we can then still have people that are from, a ways out, whatever. They don't have to travel to come see us. We can have Dan from Greasy Boy Customs come on or something. And,
I mean, in all honesty, though, I kind of wish they'd come and see us. It's always nice. It's always nice to hang out with.
I know, right?
People,
Well, I don't think this is going to become too much of a norm, at least not with car guys, because like we're so like want to do stuff kind of personalities. The collective, they want to get out and they want to race, they want to drive and stand in parking lots and bullshit and dick swing and all that stuff. That like our group of people, as soon as we're able to, we're all going to be getting together again. So we'll have actual guests in the studio. Which actually the studio, we can talk about that too. So besides, like, we're having interest in building something eventually, but what we're probably going to use temporarily is your setup, right?
Yep, most likely. Because we'll probably be working on the BMW. Probably over at my place, wrenching and whatnot.
As soon as this is over, we're going to be jumping back and forth between our places, and a lot of time is going to be spent over at yours working on the BMW.
So we'll probably be out in either my garage or where I'm currently sitting, which is the movie room, which is exactly like it sounds. It's a dedicated room to movies.
Exactly. Yeah, which is perfect. I mean, it's like, perfect spot for a podcast. We're not interrupting anybody. We're hanging out in a quiet, separate room. So hopefully the kids won't be screeching too loud in the background.
It's quiet if the kids are asleep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and your house is a decent size, so it's like people can be elsewhere in the house and you don't hear it. Like somebody could be on the absolute opposite end of my house and they could be yelling and I would hear them clear as day because it's such a small house.
Yeah, see, the wife's actually, she's in the living room, which is, as you know, as they don't know, right across the hall. And she's watching, I think she's watching Breaking Bad. Yeah. And I got the door shut. I can't hear shit.
All right, ASAC Schrader. Nice.
So.
That's awesome. Yeah, so that's going to be kind of the plan. I mean, we can get back to podcasting in person. We'll maybe pick up like a poker table or something, or who knows what we use.
We could do that.
It'd be fun.
Find a poker table somewhere. They're not too expensive.
No, they're not bad at all. It'd kind of work as far as like placement of everybody goes too. And then if we decide that we want to play some poker or whatever, we can do that too. It'd be fine. Or it'd work really good if we had like the Hungry Hippos game and put that in the center. Reach towards it. It's the first thing comes to mind. I mean, it could be like Monopoly or Candyland too, but whatever.
Candyland? You a big Candyland fan?
I played it a lot as a kid. I wonder if you could turn Candyland into a drinking game.
Oh yeah. Every time you land on a certain color, you drink.
Yeah, that could work. That could
Well,
work.
here,
There were still
so-
like the slides and stuff too, right? Where you got to take like 4 shots if you land on the slides. Because they slide
We could do
backwards. I think so. I don't remember it. I haven't played it in
Well,
ages.
they have the little figures, and every little person is a different color.
Mm-hmm.
So you just say whenever you land on the same color that your person is, you drink.
Oh, hey, that's dangerous.
Oh yeah,
That could work.
We'll just get trashed playing Candyland, and I
Pretty
can't find
much.
anything wrong with that.
That would be pretty funny. Yeah.
Do we need to do an entire podcast where we just play kids games and try to get drunk playing them?
Absolutely. I think so. I
Yeah.
mean, that would be a good one. And guaranteed we'd have people willing to join us. Jesus.
I'm completely in for that.
Yeah. So, how about that election?
All right, next topic.
Yeah, all right. Aren't you glad it's over?
Oh God, it doesn't even feel over. That's the thing.
No, that's the thing. Is it's not over, and we're definitely not going to jump into the politics game. But
Nope.
Oh my God, there's a certain degree of relief where it's like, okay, normally my brain operates like, okay, if 100% of your brain's computing power, you know, if you look at it on a scale of 0 to 100% and you sort of scale it all in there, you know, like 95% of it was car related in my head, which is probably why I like seem so obtuse all the time. But the election has been so exhaustingly busy and just like brain occupying. It's such a relief regardless of the outcome to just have it over.
Well, even Christine was saying, she's like, I never thought I'd pay attention to politics this much.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like, it's just, no matter where you go, it's like, even if let's say you went to McDonald's to pick up breakfast, like, okay, will that be everything? Do you want to, cast your vote while you're here? Like, no, back the fuck off. yes, I'm registered to vote. Let me just get my hash browns.
Exactly. No shit, man. Oh my God. Well, yeah, it's like, and I think Facebook's changed something, whatever, like the top, there was always this thing that said, like, have you registered to vote? And I think it's changed to something where it's just like election results or something.
2024, are you registered to vote?
Yeah, right. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm so done with politics.
Okay, so this is something, so I was out doing rounds today. I was doing visits with one of the people that I still because I mean I manage the program, so I don't do a whole lot of in-person counseling sessions, but I was actually out doing one here today, and I was visiting with the lady. And we were talking about the politics and just like how Trump lost and like you know, what are the odds that he's going to rerun in 2024? And she had the most brilliant idea. She's like, I wonder if he's going to go back to The Apprentice. And I was like, oh, you know, I could see him doing that. And she's like, yeah, The Apprentice could be like, The Apprentice is the vice president nominee.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Here's the thing: is I can see him.
Years. Could you imagine the ratings on that? Where he's like Apprentice style, like doing potential running mates.
That would be fucking nuts.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it would feel so. It just like, is this reality? Like reality TV becomes reality kind of thing, you know, just like how dramatic and played up it usually is, like that. Literally a reality star reality TV show is the running mate, or you know, they're trying to figure out the running mate.
I've never seen The Apprentice. I kind of get the gist of it, but like I couldn't vote for a vice president that was on that show, but if they were off of like Survivor, and I'd be like, oh, this guy's, you know, lived on an island and ate bugs for, was it 45 days or how long they're like, he's a badass. Like, okay.
Yeah, okay.
I think I could support him.
What are some of those shows? There's a few of them. So Survivor was the original one.
Yeah.
What came after? There's been a handful of them.
There's The Amazing Race.
Yeah,
and then they go around and
Naked and Scared is one, right?
Yeah.
They like toss people nude out in the safari or something. They got to figure it out.
Something like that.
So
there's
that one would be either hilarious or terrible, depending on who would get tossed out there. Can you imagine Chris Christie and Naked and Scared? Man, he's not getting away from any wildebeests. Oh man, I'm trying to think what would be the right platform to try and filter through the vice presidential candidates. I think you're onto something. I like that idea.
Well, very simple. Are you smarter than a third grader?
That's too. So it's like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, but for vice presidents.
Yep, there you go. If you can answer all these questions and prove your intelligence, there you go.
Honestly, it should. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is a pretty decent format. Probably better would be like Jeopardy. It's been around forever. Rest in peace, Alec Trebek.
Pour one out for your homie.
Yeah, pour it onto my computer. This podcast is over.
All right, I should just tape these in.
You could, man. You gotta push your hair up out of the way a little bit, and then just tape it down.
I don't think I have tape in here.
Well, here's your problem. You're swinging your head around.
I was looking for tape. I had duct tape in here at one point, but
yeah. Here, what's kind of funny about us doing it this way is like your dog might come in and just like bulldoze over everything.
Well, the wife came in not too long ago and grabbed a blanket, and Hades walked in. I'm like, he's just gonna hit the tripod, isn't he?
Yeah.
He just kind of looked at.
Is.
Just kind of gave me that derpy look of like, what the hell are you doing?
Dogs, man. I know. Well, it's Ollie would just sit here and whimper in the background. Yeah.
I'm actually shocked Harper hasn't gotten out of bed and came down here and done one of the famous, like, Dad, I have something I really need to tell you. Okay, what is it? I love you. Okay, could you just go back to bed?
And that's really sweet. And like, that's how manipulative kids get and how early, because she's what, 4.5, almost 5?
5 today.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, happy birthday, Harper. That's cool.
Yep. Having one for her.
Yeah. Okay, so she's 5 and she already knows how to manipulate at that level where she's just like, I don't want to go to bed, so I'm just gonna like use this excuse, which I mean she could just say like I've got to poop and then just go hang out in the bathroom or something. But instead she goes, I want to get downstairs, so I'm gonna go tell Daddy I love him.
the whole I have to poop thing. So she wears a diaper to bed. She's potty trained, but she has accidents in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And if we put her diaper on too soon before bed, like she takes a bath and then has like half an hour before bedtime, she'll just go to the bathroom in it.
Oh, like it's there, so she's like,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So like,
I mean, at what age does that stop being appropriate? It's like, well, I'm wearing a diaper.
It's probably about 6 or 7, and then it's appropriate again when you're in like 80s.
Exactly. Like I was gonna say it's kind of like a bell curve, but it's not a bell curve. Because a bell curve usually is like, hey, yep, it's the opposite where it's like it's appropriate here and then becomes inappropriate and then comes back up.
Yeah, so there's been a couple of nights where like we'll put her in her diaper, she'll have her snack and kind of watch a little TV real quick and then go to bed, and she'll be like, "You need to wipe my butt." What are you talking about? Like, you just had a bath like 40 minutes ago, okay? Like we talked about.
Does she word it that way too? You need to wipe my butt.
Yeah. Or either be that she just peed a bunch and it's just heavier than hell, or she's shitting it. It's like, why don't you go to the bathroom? Oh, I was watching my show, and that's not an excuse. Just because you're wearing a diaper and you're distracted by what you're watching doesn't mean you just get to shit yourself.
Yeah, no kidding. Like I don't get to.
No.
Well, I mean, I don't get to and have sex with my wife.
Yeah, I
could, but I don't think she'd want anything to do with me. I mean, it's nasty enough when there's a kid who shits and then it does like because it has nowhere to go, so it pushes other direction. Can you imagine with an adult, a hairy dude, just where all that would go?
Well, and it would smell like pulled pork and PBR. It'd just be like just the nastiest combo of smells.
Oh my god, I can't even imagine what the diets that some dudes have.
Yeah, there's a joke at work that the employees' diet is whiskey and hot pockets.
There it is, man.
Yep. I was like, work with some nasty old men. Yeah. That's probably what it is.
So it is based on some truth, huh? Jesus.
A little bit.
Yeah, wow. That's hilarious. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've worked in an environment where it's like entirely dudes.
Yeah.
Just like when there's no women involved, man, do the conditions get nasty.
Yeah, it's like working with a bunch of cavemen.
It is.
Like,
it totally is.
It's a lot of fart jokes, a lot of like just childish behavior.
Right.
You know, like I'll be like, "Hey, Justin," you know, he'll turn his head around to look at me. I'll just flip him off. Like that's it. Like I didn't need his help or anything. I just want to flip him off.
I know. I used to be a cable dude, cable repair guy, and that's 100% what it was like. Like you'd turn around and you'd see someone's nutsack, and that was just a normal Tuesday.
Yeah. That's just you're just like, okay, 15 minutes. Showed taint to Steve.
The reminder buzzes. You go, yeah, exactly.
It's like being on the playground all over again.
Well, it was the funniest thing because so I, lived up on the Iron Range, ran a business up there, left that, moved to Duluth. God, what did I do? Was a janitor for a little bit. Yes. Was a high-end audio install dude, so I did like remote car starters, like custom stereo install, stuff like that. And then after that I did the cable dude thing. So it's like I had all these jobs where either the people who worked for me were all dudes, or I was working with peers of a bunch of dudes. And then getting into human services was the opposite. So I go from working with just a bunch of dudes who are like, yeah, you might see a ball sack one morning, and then the next time you're the next job, it's super PC, and like, I shouldn't say it's super, because nobody in human services is that PC, but
you gotta be respectful. It's a professional job.
Yeah, exactly. Like you actually get sexual harassment training.
we got that as well. We had a workplace violence meeting for like half an hour.
Workplace violence. Well, see, that's more appropriate. Don't beat the shit out of the other dudes in the shop.
Sexual harassment, all that kind of stuff. Just the typical HR
sexual
stuff.
Assault.
And, at the time, I was working with Ryan, and we get out of there. Ryan and I look at each other like, "Did they just give us a bunch of ammunition?"
Bunch of ideas.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's like, cool. Came up with all these new ideas on what to say to my coworkers.
Well, and see, that's the difference between an environment where only dudes work and where women work, is that dudes go, "Oh, this is ammunition," and women go, "We better take this seriously."
Yep.
And that's not knocking women at all. That's just, if anything, that's a reflection of the cavemanness of men.
Yeah. Now, this is when nothing gets done with a bunch of men, though. Because we're too busy fucking around,
farting on each other, and yeah, the 50% work, 50% trolling.
So Tuesday, I was working on this truck with a coworker of mine. His name's Justin, super cool dude. We get along really, really well. Same kind of music, all that fun jazz.
So what's his middle name? Justin, super cool dude. So is it super cool is the middle name, and then dude's
it's probably Peter. If I had to guess.
Peter.
Yeah, his last name's Flores.
Justin Peter Flores. Wow. Justin Peter. I feel like you need to Google that now. Just be like, is there a Justin Peter Flores out there?
I'm sure
it's an interesting name. It's very specific. I don't know how you came up with that.
So we had this truck up on the lift and all that. So I was working up above, doing some stuff. I was securing harnesses and hoses, that kind of jazz. And he was down below taking care of stuff. And the only thing that was separating us was the drive shaft and then like this walking grate or whatever that you can see through. Mm-hmm. So I'd cut off my zip ties and he'd be working. And I'd take the strand that I just cut off and I'd just throw him at his head. Try to get him down to his shirt.
What you got to do is you got to wait until he's like leaned over working on something, and you got to like slide it into the ass crack. He's one of those types of the plumber pants.
What sucks is at one point in time I actually dropped my wrench on accident.
On him?
I missed him. But for some reason I didn't say heads up right away. I waited for it to bounce off the floor. And then he's like, "Hey," I'm like, "Oh, hey." I'm like, "Heads up, by the way."
Be careful.
One of us is doing something up here. You need to watch out. Yeah, it's like
that is terrible.
It's amazing anything gets done at the shop because we're just constantly ragging on each other. And
Yeah.
it's just a shit show.
Well, and it kind of sounds like not that much is getting done.
We got stuff done. I mean, I worked a 12-hour day, but we got stuff done.
Well, that's true because you guys are in the repair side of things where it's like you're not on the assembly anymore. So to give the people kind of context, you work at a crane truck company and you do the
boom trucks, cranes, all that stuff.
And yeah, you're in the service side of things, but you used to be in production.
Yep. Production was, as long as you hit your deadline, they didn't, like, everything else was fair game. Like, you're like, oh, I have 3 days to do this job. That means if I can get it done in the first day, I have 2 days to slack off and go fuck with people.
Mm-hmm.
As service, it's like the customer needs their truck back right away. Get on it. Get it done.
Get working. Yeah, my God. Yeah.
But like we constantly screw each other. We have a newer guy who went down to Iowa to help out another shop for a week, and he came back. And when he came back, he couldn't find his toolbox because we shoved it in the back of the maintenance closet. Jesus. Put everything in front of it.
God. I would love to know more like just like the trolls. Like dudes are so good at that. Oh, yeah. Like any job where like kind of this environment where there's a lot of guys working, it's amazing the ideas, the trolls that people come up with. Because like a perfect example is like the show The Office, and it's the whole Dwight and Jim dynamic where Jim's always screwing with him and putting a stapler in Jello and like all that kind of silly shit. Just the stuff that dudes come up with, like saran wrapping a toilet is so freaking funny, you know, just shit like that.
Then dudes are just constantly trolls.
Yeah, exactly.
Like when I worked at the dealership and stuff, we'd get cars coming in with snow and stuff on them in the wintertime, and everybody had their own 2 bays, so your toolbox was in its spot. Like you never moved your toolbox. So if you wanted to fuck with somebody, you take a handful of snow and you toss it on the roof above the car they were working on. So the whole day it just dripped down on them.
Wow.
The entire day.
That's harsh, man. That would drive me nuts.
Toss it above their toolbox or whatever, so there's just a wet toolbox the entire day.
Always dripping water down. Wow. Yep. That's just evil. I mean, could you imagine you're just like trying to work, you're like leaned over, you're like leaning in the engine bay or something like that, and then like you're just having drips on the what was that? You just throw up a little?
Sorry, no, I swallowed my beer raw.
Oh, it's hilarious is like you lean to cough and you leaned right into your microphone. So it's because like
I'm gonna try out for Slayer after this.
Yeah, favorite Slayer album?
None of them.
None of them.
I don't mind Slayer. I never got into Slayer.
Oh.
Yeah,
really?
Sorry.
Okay. All right. Moving on.
Maybe I just haven't listened to enough Slayer.
Favorite Paramore song?
I don't want to answer that.
Yeah, see?
Would be Misery Business.
It's everybody's. It's a good song.
Yeah,
what can you say?
Song.
Yeah. Jesus. Oh, man.
I hate you.
I baited you into that one.
That's fine.
God damn.
God. Beer number 2 is their peanut butter stout.
Oh, you're changing them up. Look at you.
Yeah, it's a variety pack. So I gotta have them. Yeah, this one's really good. It tastes like a Nutter Butter.
Right on.
Yeah.
Nutter Butter.
Not over powerful. It's just like a little bit of Nutter Butter and then beer.
That's cool. That sounds really good. Yeah, I'm kind of excited to move on to the next stage of the shoebox once we finally get some color put on everything.
Yeah, now that the powder coating booth is all set up.
Yeah, which the people will see the video for that before too long here. I finally got it. Basically, I want to shoot a little bit. I want to use it a little bit so that the people can kind of see it in action.
Yeah, I still haven't gotten the SR20 torn down, which will happen. I haven't gotten.
No, you just divulged the whole build.
They'll find out. I'm putting an SR20 in the BMW.
Should I bleep that out?
Yeah, you should. I'll say SR20 one more time, so there's 3 bleeps you got to do in there.
People love that. No, it's fine. I mean, it's
just do a voiceover.
Yeah, what am I going to say?
Just voice over something stupid. EJ 205. Just something that makes no sense.
Yeah, what would be like the stupidest motor to possibly put in that thing?
D series
Honda. That would be quite the downgrade. Although if you threw a turbo on it, it'd probably be a lot of fun. I don't know.
Yeah,
it'd still be pretty dumb.
Was it the 2.2 EcoBoost?
EcoBoost.
Is that
those
2.2?
motors are actually kind of nasty. 2.4. What, the one that's in the Mustang?
No, I'm gonna get my motors mixed up. The ones that were in, I guess they weren't EcoBoost. Were they the EcoTech or whatever? The ones that had the Cavaliers.
Yeah, the EcoTech.
Yeah.
You could make some power with them, but yeah, that's not some. That's a pretty lame swap. That's pretty good. Yeah. Well, I mean, that could be the benefit. So if people watch the show, they kind of know what we're doing. They watch the podcast, like, hey, well, there we go. We divulged the info. Now you know what we're doing.
Surprise!
It's an SR20 into an E30. And it's one of very few. I mean, there's what? I don't know, 25 cars that have done it, maybe more.
Yeah, there's a couple in the States. There's that Australian Facebook page, so it's a little bit bigger out there, but stateside there's a handful. But just enough it's different.
Yeah, it really is.
We're not putting an LS3 in it, so
yeah. Shots fired.
Yeah.
So I haven't watched that series yet. Normally I keep up on Mighty Car Mods pretty good, but I haven't watched that one. I had heard isn't it like a sponsorship or something? Like they're doing it for something?
They got sponsored by Call of Duty to do it as like a release. A release for the new Call of Duty video game that came out. So that episode is, in my opinion, kind of cheesy because they did like a bunch of little gadgets on there, so it could be like a smoke screen and all that kind of stuff, make it like a spy car. So that's kind of cheesy. But then the following episode, they did an update and they're like, yeah, we built it because of the sponsors and had all those gadgets, but this is going to be a track car. Like we're going to get rid of all of that. We're going to put proper suspension in it, all that fun jazz. And
oh wow, they must have taken a lot of heat for it then. Probably got a lot of criticism because that does sound kind of lame. Either
that, or I think it was kind of more of a, we'll do what you want because we don't want to foot the bill for all of this.
Right.
But once the contract is up, yeah, we're going to do what we want.
Yeah, that is a little odd. I mean, well, they did that with that 350Z too. I think that was like a Need for Speed car or something like that. That one was kind of cool, but
I get. I mean, they're big in the scene and kind of the idol for everybody. So I mean, if they make a Call of Duty car or Need for Speed car or whatever, then odds are that's going to translate to more business for those companies.
Yeah, that's very true. Call of Duty seems super random to me because I always, like, when I think of Call of Duty, I think of I don't know, like Nazis and shit. Because I never played it. I've never really played the game.
The newest one circles around the Cold War.
Huh. So I still don't understand where the Black Ops kind of stuff comes in.
I don't know either.
That seems like a little bit of a stretch to me. I mean, it's cool. I love Mighty Car Mods. Those guys are in a lot of ways an inspiration for us. But that seems like kind of weird. And I mean, I have to assume that's part of why they're just like, okay, so we did the thing, we completed it, we met the criteria for the contract, and now we're moving on and we're going to do something awesome with it because it's a super cool build.
Oh yeah. Like I said, it's got the LS3 in it, and they've done
an amazing motor to stuff in that car.
All the little gadgets and stuff they did, the way they did it was pretty sweet. They have a little monitor in the center console, and it's ran off of, or the inputs are all done by an old keyboard from the time. It's like, oh, that's super cool.
Wait, a keyboard from the Cold War?
From like the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah. See, it would have made more sense to do like an 80s war then. Like if the Call of Duty was like Desert Storm. Was that the 90s or the 80s?
That was 90s.
Yeah. Like what was a good 80s conflict? My God, I cannot think.
Oh
man.
I don't know. I wasn't alive in the 80s.
Cuban Missile Crisis? I think that might have been the 80s.
Yeah. There's the whole Berlin Wall coming down. Wasn't that in the
That's
80s?
huge, and that's German. So there we
Yeah.
go. And we did
Yeah.
a Berlin Wall coming down. That would be the, well, I don't know how much conflict there was, and how much like it wasn't like a war. So I don't know that would be
No.
like the best
It's-
video game premise.
It's just a video game where
Throw
you're
stones. You can, like
your guy for the entire premise of the game is just taking brick by brick down to the wall. That's
Yeah,
it. Press
pretty much.
A
That's
to
what you
take brick
do.
down. Okay, cool.
Yep. Or it could be like the whole like when the Berlin Wall like went up, and how like it divided a lot of like families and marriages and stuff. Like it's a really fucking sad story. Like this story could be that you're like trying to reunite with like your separated wife or something like that. Like there's a cool story in there.
Yeah,
Missed opportunity, man.
so
Killer
we should
video
build
game.
cars. We should go into video game development.
Yeah, we're gonna drop all of this, and we're gonna go into like writing video game scripts. It's gonna be beautiful.
Yeah. Our
Make a
first big
killing.
hit. Our first big hit will be called Dog, and all it is just petting a dog. You just get to pick the breed, and then you just pet the dog.
You gotta do
That's
it
it.
VR. So then like you're sending out like a stuffed animal, but like the stuffed animal is maybe like the hair is actual dog hair or something.
So just get
No,
to everywhere.
Yeah, so like,
You get all the
exactly.
shedding.
So you just have like this I don't even know what it would be, a yoga ball covered in like Great Dane hair, and then you put on your VR goggles, and then you just sit there and you pet it, and there you go. You've got the tactile realness, or the hair. I don't know why I said yoga ball, because no dog is shaped like that.
just round.
Mass. I mean, maybe some are.
The level 1, take your dog to the vet because he's clearly fucked up.
Right, exactly. He's got a thyroid problem.
That dog needs to go on a diet and get some exercise.
Yeah, he needs to get on a fucking treadmill. Oh man. Okay, so what would the second game be then? Donnie learns how to make mac and cheese. No, it'd have to be something like
I can make mac and cheese.
Because well, exactly. That's the only thing you can cook. So we gotta.
Yeah,
It'd be like
alright.
teaching Donnie how to like cook something basic.
Like cornbread.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
That's-
Yeah, we'll
that's
do
pretty-
like Donnie cooks cornbread. It's a catchy name. That's the second game. Donnie cooks cornbread. Oh man. The whole premise would just be like you're trying to keep his focus. It's like you're constantly kind of like drifting off and going other directions, and you kind of have to like sheepdog herd him back to like the kitchen.
You saying I'm that aloof
go.
that I can't stay focused on how to make cornbread?
Maybe.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You lose the game. You got distracted by the dog.
I'll be
Shit.
curious what your wife has to say about this. She'll be like, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, that actually would be a good game.
Yeah, until she comes home and there's 46 pans of cornbread sitting on the counter.
I don't think that'd be a problem, man. You could go feed the homeless. There
Cornbread.
you go. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Just run it down there, down to the little encampment that we have
There
growing.
you go. Yeah, in the
Jesus
back of the
Christ.
pickup truck, it's entirely better cornbread.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Because I just learned how to. Yep.
Hell yeah.
That's how you win the game.
Is that the final
Jesus
mission
Christ.
to deliver cornbread to the homeless?
Oh man, that's kind of a beautiful thing. It's got a nice happy ending to it. You're making a positive impact on the world. There you go. So you learn how to cook your cornbread, you're happy, and then you deliver it to the homeless. Perfect.
Love it.
Perfect.
Okay, well, I'll contact EA Games and see if they want to give us some money
Think
for this.
EA's in on this one? Okay.
Yeah, they make
Sounds
shitty
good.
games, so.
Do they?
They'll
I don't
be
know
in.
the first thing. I don't play video games, so I have no idea. I stopped playing video games after Final Fantasy VII.
I never played
Well,
Final
no,
Fantasy.
actually, I can't say that. It's a masterpiece. Final Fantasy VII is a masterpiece. No, I played. God, I have a Forza. Yeah, I had. I think the
Forza's
first
good.
Forza. I had that.
Forzas are good. If you like racing, they're good games.
Need for Speed Underground 2.
Ooh, that's
That
classic.
was one of the ones that I had. I had a Xbox One.
Okay.
So that
The first
was,
Xbox.
Yes. Yeah. The
Not-
first
not-
Xbox.
You had an Xbox, not the Xbox One, because they're two different things.
Oh, really? See, that's how
It's-
little I know about.
It goes Xbox, Xbox 360, Xbox One, and then was it the Xbox X or whatever? I don't know the fucking newest one.
Why
they
the
just came
fuck
with.
would they make Xbox One after the first Xbox? Why
I don't fucking know.
Why would you name it that?
I don't know. See, PlayStation makes sense. They're like, which one are we on? We're on number 3. Okay, cool. PlayStation 3. Got
Exactly. That's real nice and simple. That's such a Windows thing. Because isn't that what Xbox is? It's a Windows-based thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just it's a Windows computer essentially.
That's so
That's
funny.
all it is.
So can you hack them and put like a basic, like an OS on it, like Windows 10?
I'm assuming so. I don't do the hack. I don't do computers, as you know. I pretty much just drink beer and go race or whatever.
So you have a 10-year-old Dell and you're like, that's my laptop.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep. With 20 Pornhub links open or tabs open.
17.
17 of them.
17.
Yep.
18,
Computer's
it
just
starts to get a little
frozen.
slow.
You open it up, it's just stuck on that. It never moves. The cursor kind of twitches sometimes.
Some of the keys stick. It's really bad.
No, it'd be rough. It'd be rough. They're just solid.
Oh,
You hear a crunch. Like you push hard enough and it just goes crunch.
You open up the screen, it sounds like my knees when I get out of bed. Just pops. And
Yeah, it's because it's an elderly computer. Well, I can't talk. I have... Well, let's have some fun. Let's do some math.
God.
I have a laptop that is from when I was 21, I believe. I'm
So
37 now.
16 years old.
Yeah. I paid $2,800 for this thing back then.
Holy
I had it
crap.
built. So back in the day, Dell had what was it, the XPS or something? I think it was something like that. They had like the Alienware competitor of the time.
Okay.
And instead of doing that, I took like the step down from that and I just built it. So like the absolute best that you could get of all the different options that you could put in it. So it had an actual video card. It had like a really good sound card in it. It was like a big 19-inch or 17. I think no, maybe it was a 17-inch. It was a massive monitor. Had all the different ports on it and everything. It was pretty loaded. And I used that to edit my first video series thing, which no one will ever see.
Is that when you say no one will ever see, because it's that bad, or we're talking like videos with an ex-girlfriend?
Oh no,
Okay.
nothing quite that fun. I don't know why I never did. I don't know, bashful girlfriends or something. Or I was just that focused on cars at the time where I was like, bro, I don't know what else I'd use this camera for. No, just cheesy car related stuff. But back when I was a total ricer.
Some things never change.
No, I do want to rice out a car again, like hardcore rice it out.
We should buy like a Sunfire or a Cavalier or something and just race the shit out of it.
Oh man, you nailed it with the Sunfire. That would be perfect. Automatic.
So shitty. So shitty.
And they go autocross it. Just like stock suspension leaning, like the fiberglass is like dragging on the ground.
Oh, what was the all plastic Saturn that they had?
SL1, SL2.
Is it the SL2?
They had the SLs and then oh my god, what are the other ones? I know which one you're talking about. The 2-door?
Yeah.
I think it's like an SL1 or SC1 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get one of those. Those things are garbage.
They're plastic, so they still look
everything
okay.
is plastic. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why they made the entire body out of that. They get in an accident and they're just like, oh, well, we can need a plastic. Yeah. Yeah. They just shatter, or you can plastic weld it back together.
That's actually kind of brilliant, though. Like we should get one of those because it'll look good.
Yeah, it'll just be rotting out behind all the plastic.
What we should actually do is, we talked a while back about doing like a show car where it was like, it doesn't hardly drive, like basically like rock solid shop suspension, but it's like super stanced.
Is that what we pretty much have with the Civic, a car that we barely drive?
Well, I don't know. It's broken. So we drove it pretty good. Do you guys see the video for that pretty soon? Oh, man. Well, we got to kind of finish the story on that thing. So we got to push that into my garage one of these days here so I can replace the axle.
Yay.
Yeah. But yeah, I just think that'd be so funny. Like, there we go. We'll do a Saturn. We'll do a Saturn with like 20-inch wheels on it, and we'll have it like scraping the ground.
So because it's all plastic, could we plastic weld fender flares into it?
Yes,
There
definitely.
we go. We'll make our own body kit.
Make it like super wide bodied. Get some big fiberglass flares and like plastic welded on, and we could.
Just make it
Disgusting.
stupid. Oh,
Try
yeah,
and make
it's
it as
Saturn.
fast as we can. That'll be our SEMA car. That's it, dude. That's what we gotta do, man. We'll make a SEMA car.
We'll have a Saturn that's a SEMA car.
Oh, that would not reflect positively on us. I mean, it'd definitely generate a buzz, but
yeah, a bunch of people are like, what the fuck is that?
What is these idiots doing? Yeah, man. I don't know. Because I always wanted to do like a Festiva, some like little mini, like super small car, and do it like kind of Group B style, where it's like box flares and kind of all that shit. But it still has the 3-cylinder motor in it, so it just like it looks super cool. Just to build it, drive it for a summer, sell it off. You know.
We could easily do something like that. I'm sure we could find some high school kid that would want to buy it.
Mm-hmm. What gives you the gnarliest burps?
Beer. Definitely beer.
Gnarliest burp. Is there a particular beer that gives you the gnarliest burps?
Usually stouts.
There we go. So it's probably a good thing that we're not in the same environment. Then not only are you belching out Rona, but
that's a perk of not being with you right now.
The smell of pizza that's just coming out of your face.
I can drink what I want. Like, I know you like your stouts, but not like I do.
Yeah, so I'm more of an IPA.
Yeah. Which I love. I love
White Claw.
It's White Claw. Also a bit of a bitch, but
yeah.
But because I'm drinking at home, I don't have to think about you. I can be selfish and be like, "Ooh, I really like this," and I know I like 100%. It. And I don't have to worry about what you're going to like it or not.
There we go, man.
That's a perk to this.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, that's the funny thing is like when I make the post for this, the fact that we're gonna have like, you know, because if we want to tag the beer brands because we talk about them and whatever, I'm gonna tag White Claw in there. I don't care, man. It's 2 grams of carbs for an entire can. I'm pretty okay with that.
This does not tell me.
No, they don't. Beers don't tell you because they don't want you to know. You're drinking
probably
a loaf of bread.
It's probably.
Yeah, man. It's if I had to guess, it's probably like 200 to 300 calories and like quite a bit of garbage in it.
Yeah, it doesn't say. Just says 6.5%, but it doesn't say how many carbs.
Yeah. It's fine. That's not why you're drinking it.
No, I'm drinking because I like it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to maintain my figure.
Good luck with that.
Dude, being in your late 30s, man, like you have to think about it. It comes on so quickly and it's so hard to keep the LBs off.
I'm in my early 30s and I want to face that. I'm in the 30s.
You're in the 30s.
I am the 30s. And
the 30.
It's already starting to catch up to me a little bit. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's crazy difficult to not put on weight.
Mm-hmm. Especially because you seem to get busier. You seem to have way more shit going on. It seems like every year I get busier and busier.
Well, yeah, it's because you keep pumping out kids.
What can I say? I can't keep her off me.
There it is. Well, yeah, man. I mean, when you got to chase around Rugrats, like, when do you find time to work out?
Okay, first off,
a nightmare.
The reason why I'm fat is because I don't chase him around. It's a lot of get off of that. Don't hit your brother.
Hollering at him.
Why are you crying?
We're getting to that point now. So, I mean, obviously, my daughter is 2 months old. So my son is more than big enough to just climb all over her. And I had no idea that was going to be such a focus of your time where you're just like, oh, I've got to keep the toddler from killing my infant because he wants to smother her and shove shit in her mouth and poke her eyes.
He just doesn't know better.
Sociopath, dude.
He just doesn't know better. He just doesn't know his own strength and stuff.
But he's just like, oh, there's an eyeball.
Like, oh, I got one of those.
Yeah. And it's not just like, I'm going to touch her face gently and like kind of observe. It's just like smash Like he wants to hug her, so he wants to like press his face up against hers, and
Well,
she's starving for air.
my niece-in-law, my sister-in-law's daughter is 7 weeks old. So seeing my kids around her, it's similar to that. You know, Robin will be like, "Oh, baby," like, yeah, don't fucking touch her.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, once you guys have the next one, now you're gonna have to keep Harper from carrying the thing around everywhere, and then Roman from like sitting on its face.
Well, I didn't tell you what we're having, did I?
Oh, you guys know?
Yeah, we know.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah.
And drum roll.
We're having a girl.
Oh God, you're gonna have 2 daughters.
Yeah.
Wife says yay.
I can hear her in the background.
Oh no. Are you gonna turn on another Harper, or are you gonna try and turn this one into more of a girly girl? I guess she'll decide.
Yeah, she'll figure out what she's into.
Mm-hmm.
So Harper's super excited because she's having a sister.
Well, I mean, wasn't she like basically gonna?
It was pretty much
leave.
Yeah, it's pretty much either I'm having a sister or I'm gonna beat it up.
She's gonna like hitchhike to Alabama. She's like, I'm out of here. if you don't give me a sister, I'm out. I'm gonna go find a sister.
We don't really have any names picked out yet. We have one that we kind of like, but nothing solid yet.
Yeah. Time. Bertha.
Ember.
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 As in like a ember of a flame, like a hot embers. That's dangerous, dude. So it's like having a name that's hot. Like I'm an ember. I'm burning hot.
And she'll just be the sweetest little girl and just the nicest person.
Or she'll be a slut.
You can't say that with my unborn daughter. You twat.
Well, I mean, that is kind of a stripper name.
It's not a stripper name.
The wife's back there like telling me to shut the fuck up.
No, I dated a girl with a stripper name. That's not a stripper name.
What was the girl's stripper name?
Her name was Sabrina.
Sabrina's not a stripper name. It's a teenage witch.
No, that's a stripper. That's a straight stripper.
Jasmine is a stripper name.
Jasmine and Sabrina are both trailer
Mercedes
park stripper
is
names.
a stripper name.
Well, yeah, because you got to name yourself after something you'll never have.
Yeah. I don't know. Strippers make a lot of money, dude.
That's true.
The first Audi I ever worked on was an S8 that was owned by a stripper here in town.
Jesus.
I put a massive system in that thing.
See, that's where like women always like to be like, oh, guys have it so easy. You don't have to carry the kid around, all that kind of shit. Yeah, we can't use our bodies to get what we want. Though.
Oh yeah, you can't flash your knockers and just get dollar bills thrown at you.
If I
we don't
my
got
dick,
that.
You know, if I wanted to pick up a chick at the bar or whatever, I can just whip my dick out and be like, yeah, come on. But like if she shows me, you know, if she's wearing a tight skirt or something, like holy shit, you show that off.
You do that, you whip it out in the bars.
Not anymore.
So we're just like waiting for Donnie's Me Too moment. Who are you gonna get Me Too'd by?
The Me Too
Sabrina. Jesus Christ, kid. Donnie's about to get canceled. I'm gonna have to find a new co-host.
When?
Auditioning for the co-host. If there's anybody else who has somehow the time and the supportive wives that allow us to do this.
The two stipulations must be taller than you and funny.
Yeah, funnier than me. It doesn't take much. Oh man.
I got the wife. So as you know, as you can tell, wife and I are big movie people, and I got her to watch a movie she's never seen before with two actors that she kind of hates.
Really? Okay.
She doesn't mind Nicolas Cage. Like she likes him in Con Air. She likes Con Air. She kind of likes The Rock, but she's not like a big fan of him, and she doesn't really care for John Travolta.
You watch Face Off?
She's never seen it before. She thought it was so dumb. I'm like, well, yeah.
I could hear you.
I'm like, yeah. She thought it was really, really dumb.
Oh, Face Off is terrible.
Oh,
I love
it's so
though.
bad. It's just a pile of shit.
So there was a handful of action movies that I would watch when I was younger, and it was Con Air,
Fantastic.
The Rock.
Yep.
Con Air, The Rock, Face Off. So this was before Fast and the Furious came out. So those were some of the movies that I'd geek out on.
Con Air might be in my top 10. because
Connor's pretty good.
It's so good.
Hilarious, and it has Steve Buscemi in it.
It's got a great cast.
Yeah.
I love the fact that they pretty much just wrote down a shit ton of one-liners and put them in a hat and just like picked them out at random.
Oh my god, I know.
It's just one-liner after one-liner. Like Nicolas Cage's dialogue, the entire film is just one-liners.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it's fun. It's just a fun film.
Oh, it's super fun. It's got like a constant energy going, so it just like has a good pace. Like the elements of it are really fun. Like just like the inmates and the badassery, and like, oh, there's the one inmate who's like completely locked up and chained, and like, because that was Steve Buscemi, wasn't it? Like he had the mask and all that stuff. Yeah. I know. It was pretty good.
Yeah. So watching Face Off, it was kind of fun to watch her and just that mindset of like, okay, is Nicolas Cage the good guy or the bad guy right now?
Yeah, the mental gymnastics after they cut their faces off. Yeah,
and they swap them, and she's just like, that would never happen.
Weird.
I'm like, just watch the movie.
Just roll with it.
Just roll with it.
Of course, the nurse can't get around that because she's like, no, physiologically, that would never work.
That's not a sterile environment.
Yeah, exactly. Just like the faces are different sizes, so how would that work? You'd have to stretch things and.
So we got to talking afterwards, and I told her we should do a low budget film where we do Face Off, but with Hades and Apollo.
That's horrifying.
Because
it wouldn't work. Your dog's faces off?
No. Not
what would you do about the nose? Would you leave the nose on, or would you cut the flesh around that? Like
it would be CGI, obviously, because I'm not going to harm my pooches.
Let's do face swap. So whose face is your face going on Hades or your wife's?
No. Hades' face is good.
No, I know what you're saying, but face swap with a person. Be pretty good. I mean, that's a movie I could watch.
Why did you face swap with Hades? So I could lick my own balls. Why do you think I did it?
Exactly.
Jealous. Look at him.
I want to know what it feels like. Perfect.
You want to talk about like the end of the world, or?
I mean, it could be kind of hilarious.
Literally the outro.
The outro of Mankind.
Yeah. Which is, we're going biblical.
How do you think that's going to go down?
Let's see here. Well, first things first, I think the internet's going to crash.
Okay.
People lose their shit because they can't update what they're eating on Facebook and Instagram.
Is it just going to be a mass suicide, and that's what's going to end mankind? Everyone's going to lose the internet and be like, "There's no reason for living."
Who am I going to share this beautiful pie with on the internet? Oh, I guess I just better end it.
Oh, I ate a ham sandwich and I can't post it on Instagram.
Yep, guess it's time.
Better off myself.
Grab that 45 on my dad's, closet. And...
I can't send dick pics to some random Instagram model. Oh
God, yeah.
Exactly. Is that what it's going to be? The end of the world? It's going to be a mass suicide.
Yeah,
everyone's going to simultaneously off themselves. It's not going to be like this massive cataclysmic event. It's going to just be like depressing.
It's going to be 12 hours before Kanye releases his newest album too.
Kanye, oh yeah, no, it's 12 hours before Kanye becomes president. On that note,
so it was fun talking to everybody again. Yeah. Nice to kind of get in the swing of things again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So thank you everybody for joining us. This is the first of many. We're kicking back into it. So we'll have guests coming up soon here. We'll do, kind of everything that we were doing before with a slightly different format. But yeah, should be a good time.
So thank you for being patient with us, and hopefully you continue this journey with us.
Yeah, that's such a cheesy way to put it.
Yeah, whatever.
Continue this journey with us.
Yeah,
what's our journey? Journey to the end, right? Is that we gotta get Kanye in office.
Yep.
Perfect. All right, thanks guys. We'll see you guys next week.